At a certain age, dating stopped feeling so fun and start feeling like a race. The biological clock, the society's expectations and rules, the family asking when are you gonna settle down, when are you gonna have kids, you surrounding, now all of a sudden you're the last friend and the last member of your family that doesn't have kids or that is not married. And suddenly you're wondering, am I ever gonna settle? Am I ever gonna find the right person? Am I being too picky? Am I asking for too much here? Am I being delusional? Well, in this video, we'll go over how fear-based dating leads to settling and long-term misery, why good on paper isn't good enough, the difference between standards and self-sabotage, and finally, how to date with confidence instead of scarcity. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Aziza. I help you embrace your growth journey and go after your dream life. So if you resonate with this, if you want to grow, if you want to succeed in life, if you want to aim for your goals, reach your goals, and create a life that you enjoy and that you love, well, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's start with the dangers of fear-based dating. When you date in fear and in desperation, you rush, you compromise too fast, you ignore red flags, and you try to make it work too much. Fear-based dating sounds like, am I being too much? Am I having too high of standards? Am I being delusional? What if I'm too old to be picky? What if I end up alone? And these fears, these doubts that you have about yourself, they can lead you to settling down. And when you settle down with someone because you fear of being too much, you fear of never finding a person and being alone, you fear of being too old and having not enough time to find the person that will make you happy, well, you settling down doesn't bring peace. Settling brings resentment. It creates emotional loneliness, especially in relationships. Being alone is hard, but being with the wrong person is way harder. And it has way more negative effects on you and on your self-love and your self-esteem and your confidence. I want to share my personal experience to give an example. So I met this guy that was honestly perfect on paper. He looked really, really good. Like, the guy belongs to movies. He's like a Calvin Klein magazine cover. The guy is perfect looking wise. He's attractive. He smells good. He's clean. He has a good job, a good situation. He is stable. He is emotionally intelligent and mature. But he had something that was missing for me. And at first, I couldn't really understand what it was, but then eventually I figured it out. And it was more of an energy thing and of a charisma thing and of a power thing than anything else. But back to me seeing this guy and looking how he's really nice, and on paper he checks all the boxes and it's great. And then I started being kind of turned off, like something was missing. I was not all the way in and I wasn't convinced, and I started just not being as attracted, and I started doubting myself and criticizing and fearing. And I was like, wait, are you doing too much? Are you asking for too much? Do you have too many standards? And is it even realistic? And are you gonna end up alone? And how are you gonna find the guy that has all this and that? I started literally spiraling, finding myself kind of wanting to force myself to like him, force myself to date him, force myself to spend time with him, force myself to give it a shot, even though it was off from the jump. I'm talking about after a couple times, I knew that he was missing something that is important to me for me to be attracted by him. But I felt the pressure. I felt the pressure of my age. I felt the pressure of, well, what is good on paper and like the society checklist and how he responds to everything. So I must be crazy and I must be in the wrong. I almost settled. I literally almost forced myself and gave it a shot when I knew I didn't want it. But then I remembered who the F I am, first of all. I remembered that I'm the type of woman that gets what she wants. I get what I want and I want what I want, and I have experience under my belt and I know what I want and I know what I like and I know what turns me on and I know what I need in my partner. I also remembered Why would I settle for something that already feels off? We're not even in a real relationship yet, and it already feels off. Why would I settle for this? I know what I want, and I know that what I'm worthy and who I am and what I come with, well, I at least want that. I at least want the matching of that. I need the energy that matches my energy, not a lower energy. If anything, I want a higher energy that gonna pull me up with it. I'm sharing this just to remind you that trust yourself. First of all, trust yourself. If you feel off about something and if you feel like, well, this isn't it, or something is wrong, something is not working, trust your intuition, trust yourself, know your worth, remember your worth. You do not have to settle down. Also, remember when you're in fear and you have all those doubts and all those things that society tells us and family members tell us and TV tell us, well, remember that what is meant for you will not miss you, that the right person comes at the right time, even though it might seem like, okay, the right time is taking forever to come. Like, when is the right time, really? Well, remember that there is a bigger force and there is something that is orchestrating our lives and that know the right time and it's divine timing. So believe that the right person will come at the right time. You do not have to force and you do not have to settle. And especially, you do not have to force compatibility. So let's talk about some actionable tips. If you can relate, okay? If you can relate to my experience, if you can relate to the fact that you feel pressure about dating, about finding the right person, either because you dream of being a mom and having your own family and it's not happening yet, and you feel like, okay, I have to find somebody like ASAP. If you feel pressure, if you feel rushed, if you feel like you are behind, you are late, you are the only one alone, you fear of ending up alone, well, let's work on this by implementing some actions and behavior. First, separate your fear from your desire. So if you start dating and you like a guy but you're not sure, ask yourself, do I like him or do I like the idea of being chosen? Desire feels calm when fears feels urgent. So if you feel rushed, it's probably fear. Also, very important, define your non-negotiables, not a wish list, but something that you do not want to settle, like emotional intelligence, like values and morals, communication skills and honesty, how you feel around him, how he makes you feel. Knowing your non-negotiables, knowing the things that you need in a partner, in your life partner, will help you avoid settling down and forcing a relationship just because of, I don't know, status and credential or how it looks on papers versus what you really value and what you really need in your partner. Also, please stop using your age as a weapon against you. Your age is not a deadline, okay? And being in your 30s and your 40s, first of all, it's 2026. It's not the 50s, it's not the 30s, it's not the 20s, it's not the 70s. You don't have to be married and you don't need to be settled and have your family and all those things by the age of 25. You don't. Nowadays, women are ambitious, women build empires, women are independent, financially independent. They do not need a man to survive. They do not need a man to be safe and secure. They can provide for themselves. Back in the day, we had to settle down really quickly, because women didn't even have the rights to work. They needed a man for their safety. It's not that time anymore. You are not late. You are on your own timing. Your age is not a deadline, and it's certainly not a reason to lower your standards. There are plenty of people that find their person later and they are happier. There's also studies that show that people that get in relationship after their 30s, when they know themselves more, when they did inner work, when they grew, when they had experiences under their belt, they live longer relationships and happier relationships. So please stop using your age as a weapon against you and stop making your age a deadline to where, well, if at this age I don't have this and that, then I'm lowering my standards. Then I'm taking that guy that likes me for the past 10 years that I'm absolutely not attracted to, but I do want a kid and I do want to be married, and it's the only guy that wants me. So I'm just gonna go for him and be miserable. No, we're not doing this, okay? We are embodying queen energy. We are embodying a woman that know her worth, that know her values, that know what she wants, that know what she deserves, and that is gonna go for that, and that is not gonna settle until she has what she wants and what she desires in life. And that goes especially for her partner. And that includes knowing and trusting that you are going to be fine regardless. You are going to be fine if the relationship works. You are going to be fine if this guy wants you and dates you and honor you. And you are going to be fine if it doesn't. You are going to be fine with or without him. You came to this planet alone and you are going to die alone. It is not that one guy only that is going to make you life and your happiness. No, if it's not gonna work out with this man, if it's not gonna work out with this guy, then it will work with or without him. It will work without him and with another one. It will work on your own. Having that mindset and remembering that you are gonna be fine regardless, it removes desperation, and desperation kills attraction. When you are dating or you are in a relationship, and you are desperate, this is a big repelling sign and a big red flag for a man, especially. This repels him, it pushes him away. You are creating an imbalance in the dynamic and energetic wise. So when you're desperate, you tend to chase, you tend to over-explain, you tend to be needy. All those things are pushing a man away. It is repulsing. Finally, don't confuse loneliness for compatibility. Don't confuse you being lonely and scared to be alone and needing to be held at night and having somebody validate you with, well, we are compatible and I love him and he loves me. No, those are two different things. Staying in the wrong relationship because you don't want to be lonely and you want to use that as compatibility so you're not alone, it will cost you. It will cost you way more than it will serve you. It will cost you your time. It will cost you your energy. It will cost you your self-esteem, self-worth, love, confidence, and ultimately your happiness. So to conclude, let's remember that we don't date from fear. We don't settle out of pressure. We don't betray ourselves to meet a timeline, an imaginary timeline at that. And remember yourself that you deserve what you want in life. You can get what you want in life. And that you can trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to find the right person at the right timing. And that in the meantime, you can give yourself what you need. You don't need someone else to give you happiness. You don't need someone else to give you love. When you learn to give yourself all those things, you will not feel pressured and you will not feel tempted to settle down because you don't need them. You don't need external to feel good within. You are providing this for yourself, and you're also allowing the matching energy and the alignment to happen when you are in that vibration, when you are in that frequency, when you are in love with yourself first. Thank you so much for watching, my girls. I hope this video helps. I hope this video reminds you of who you are, of what you deserve, and of trusting yourself. Trust yourself. You know you, and you know what you want, and you know what you deserve, and you know your worth. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.